Alrighty, welcome to Online Super Series 86, the high buy-in version. This one was, I believe, let me check, $600 toward the prize pool plus 30 rakes, so $630 buy-in. Got a prize pool of 101,400. You can see that. I don't even know why I'm going with that, but I think you can see 27 people got paid, and once again, I have no issues with the way they structured the payouts this time. So the OSS games at least have a really good idea of how to work a payout structure. So that much I can appreciate. I complained about late reg in the last video, the medium buy-in version. So I won't complain about anything this time unless I see a really bad play, which there probably won't be. First of all, as usual, let us congratulate. Well, these guys can't really be congratulated. They didn't even make the money, but as soon as we get to 27. I like Graph Up Guy, which is obviously a play on Crown Up Guy, aka Fedor Holtz. You'll notice a few of the same names because, sure enough, there were some 9, 8, 7. Stop. There were some multi-tablers who were playing both the medium and the high version. None of them made both final tables, but there were some close ones. And, yep, I'll do it for the nearly men, as it were. And now, with $5,070 guaranteed, let us begin. Lines of 15 and 30,000, antes of 3750. I thought about maybe doing it so that I can hide the bar at the bottom, because obviously that spoils when it's going to end. But then I realized if I'm going to record this for YouTube, the YouTube bar will spoil when it'll end anyway, so there's absolutely no point to do that. So, I can't win either way. None of these things are live, remember. It's even if I was watching it as up-to-date as I could be, it would be on a 30-minute delay. So, that spoiler is going to happen no matter what. You've seen it happen. Homeboy with King Jack suited is going to move all in. Down to Muck, actually, with Ace-3 suited. And we're off to the races immediately. And that's a tremendous flop for Homeboy. And he is going to win the race just like that. Down to Muck from the United States out in 6th place. Hardly knew ya. Bite the curb, please. Probably happy to see that. He's moved up to 5th place. And as you can see, we have much more American table this time compared to the medium one where there were 2 Americans and 4 different countries represented. Besides those, there was let's see, what was there? Canada, Ukraine, Poland, and UK. Have I already forgotten? I'm bad. I'm bad at this. I'm glad that I'm not keeping tabs on every single event. That would be way too much work for me. Alright, so pocket tens for Homeboy 1, and this should just end. I can't help but point out also that the guy called Down to Muck was American, but the person named Please Muck is Canadian. Because lol stereotypes. I go for low-hanging fruit sometimes. Big raise by Please Muck, so appalled with 10-4 offsuit. So we're immediately starting this off with similar cards to the median table, besides that first hand, obviously. Our chip leader is Muggy from UK. Vietnam was the other country, that's right. Vietnam. Fight the curb, please, with King Queen. This is a pretty obvious all-in spot with his stack compared to everybody else. Please, Muck, I don't think we'll look him up with King 9 offsuit. Because an all-in is going to look super strong here. Yeah. No, Snap calls it. They both hit a king. Just has to dodge at 9, and he's going to double up. All right. 5-way, and it's anybody's game all of a sudden. I am already counting down the time for us to start seeing a bunch of green lights go up. We have Ace Jack versus Ace Jack here, both suited. Taking a while. That's almost all in. I don't know why you stopped at 630,000. This is, I would say, pump it or dump it. I can see a fold, honestly. That's an awful lot to play for. You don't have the clearest of clear advantages. He's going to go for it. We're 5-handed and anticlimax. Yes, anticlimax. Why'd they do that? That just guaranteed a chop pot. I looked actually, the if it annoys you that they do the sound effect with every lead change, I guess, in a hand, that's not one of the options you could turn off, so not my fault. Another ace jack. And a lot of playable hands. But the curb, really the only one who can't call. 10-8 could have called, especially on the button. Muggy getting a bit of a discount from the small blind will call. Please Muck getting an even bigger discount, should probably call as well. So we'll take a 3-handed flop. And So Appalled, how do you like that one? Now, the hand is actually more vulnerable than it would appear. A 10 gives Muggy a straight, and 8 gives Please Muck a straight. Which is actually only 6 outs, so it's not that bad, actually, now that I think about it. Bet, call, fold. So the queen now is okay for So Appalled. He just has to dodge a 10. I can't imagine he's ever folding this. He's probably going to bet. Muggy will probably fold. Small bet, but it's just a gut shot. Oh. Well, that's a mistake. Well, not a mistake, but a misread, certainly. No way So Appalled is going anywhere. Probably going to re-raise all in. Just call. The 8 pairs Muggy. I don't think he's really all that wild about it, though. It's a very small raise, too. I don't know why he thought that that tiny raise size was going to work. Then he picks up an 8 and decides to not even bluff the river. And I'm just going to end the hand there. I'll be right back. Big, big pot for So Appalled, though. Alright. Okay, we're getting better cards here than at the medium table. Ace-9's going to fold under the gun at a 5-handed table. I probably would have played that. Would have been thrilled about it, but I would have like made a somewhat sizable raise and hope everybody else folds. Folds around to Please Muck, who's all in for 23 big blinds. So Appalled with Ace-7, and they're going to show each other their bad card. Well, of course, Please Muck had the same cards, but yeah, you know. I actually have the showing cards after you fold disabled on mine, but I will show my hands quite frequently if nobody calls me. More blind versus blind. That's a more reasonable raise. We saw a lot of just limping and checking in the last table. Whoa, okay, 9 kings. This is going all in, no question about it. 5-handed, there's no way they're getting away from this. Homeboy, easy fold with the 3s, but Muggy's going nowhere. Unless he has a dead soul read on Please Muck. Nope. Don't blame him at all. Ace 6 2 2. And the 9 does not come. We have a double up for Please Muck, and he is now the chip leader. Muggy, who started the final table as chip leader, is just like that, the short stack. Lines recently went up. Oh, but he's got pocket jacks. Okay, so this table's way different. This table's getting hands all over the place. Muggy's going nowhere. Please Muck's got a call from those pot odds. The hearts are good for Muggy. He just has to dodge an ace that's not a heart. The 9 of clubs is okay. The jacks hold, and Muggy is right back in it. maybe these guys should do it. Chop. Given the hands that we're seeing here, but no one's doing anything yet. I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them. The temptation must at least be there for some players. Where all it takes is one guy like me who is just like completely morally opposed to the deals, and it'll never get done unless I get knocked out. It has to be unanimous. So Paul flops a pair. Homeboy flops the nut no pair. Is that still a thing? Do people like to rationalize that as a reason to stick around? Does go check, check. Not a bad card for Solo Paul. Gives him a gut shot. He would have obviously preferred the 9 of diamonds, but is what it is. Still a check. Homeboy with like probably not much upside to betting this. He could represent a 6-5 or something. But even then, if he had 6-5, he probably would have bet the flop. Yeah, he checks. There you go. Solo Paul with the jack. He could check and see if Homeboy wants to represent the jack. But personally, I'm fine with the lead out there. Homeboy with, yeah. He could raise, but folding is obviously better there. Sec. I would not mind some feedback in the comment section, actually. If it annoys you that I keep the flags on for the eliminated players, do tell me. If you like that I do that, then good. If you would prefer, oh wow, he folds an ace, one of those middle aces. So I mean, I get it. I might too, but if you would prefer that I just get rid of the flags as soon as the players are eliminated, then I will take that to heart. But you have to let me know, obviously. Can't read your minds, especially when there's any number of you. So appalled would be wise. Just fold this. Oh, he'll limp. Bite the curb is going nowhere. Feel like you gotta raise that, and sure enough, so appalled 7-3 is now the best hand. I mean, I love to see flops personally, but ace-10 suited 5-handed is just too strong to go limped. He's not going to go anywhere because that is a fairly strong hand for a limp pot, even though it's no pair. But Snowball has a pair. Check. Check, I assume. But the curb clearly thinks that the ace-10 has showdown value. Well, neither player is going to like that card. Any 5 now wins it. Bet the curb want to represent it. Nope. All I had to do was raise to 90,000 pre-flop, and that pot's all his. Jack 9 suited. It goes limp call. I guess I'm okay with these. They both have potential, but they both want to see flops. They both flop straight draws. Homeboy wants to see a jack or a 6. Bite the curb wants an 8. Homeboy's not folding. I would just call. Two of clubs. Brick de la brick. I would expect, yeah, I would expect a bet there because there'd be. It always seems a bit fishy when somebody slows down when the turn is a 2. A 2 that doesn't complete a flush or a straight or anything. So appalled with ace 9. Just enough to raise. I thought Muggy might play that for the big blind, but nope. I am proud of these guys. No green lights are on. Light the curb with a raisable hand. Look at these cards. We're actually seeing cards now. I see that bar is moving right along in the bottom of the screen, so it looks like it's going to continue like this. People are actually going to get some cards here. It's progressing a lot faster than the medium one did. Nobody got dealt anything. Homeboy won with King Jack. I would call. I would call just because it's the button, so you get to act last post flop. Muggy with Queen Jack suited in a bit of a tough spot here. Probably wanted to just call, but that's a steep price now, and you'll be out of position. Could raise all in. It'd be awfully risky, though. He's going to go for it, though. It's very risky, though, because if you're getting called, like you're dominated. Unless it's by, like, pocket tens. Homeboy is no easy decision here. This is for almost all of his chips, and he just has King Jack off suit. I would fold this. And he does fold. So, brave play works out for Muggy. King Jack suited now for Bite the Curb. Probably fold, call from here. So appalled with suited Queen 8 of clubs. Does not want to hit a flush, though. I'll Bite the Curb with a very nice flop. So appalled with nothing. At least one person's hitting the flop. More often than not in the medium when we couldn't get anybody to hit the flop. Quarter pot, should be fold. I was thinking about something. No, it's going to fold. Ace 4 suited for Bite the Curb and the big blind. 8-9 off will fold. Under the gun, I like that fold. If anybody calls you, you have to hit the flop, and he's getting a little short on chips, so that's good risk management, I think. Blind versus blind again. These are the same two seats that went heads up in the medium one. Just a coincidence, but oh boy, what a flop for Bite the Curb. It's just a coincidence, but these guys are playing the most interesting pots so far. So Paul better slow down, because Bite the Curb ain't going nowhere. Bite the Curb with the same avatar, actually, as the person in that seat. In the medium one. Bald Brazzers was his name, from Poland. I can remember a few things. 1,180,000 for Bite the Curb. Sure enough, So Appalled was smart and took a step back because, yeah, he wasn't getting Bite the Curb to fold ever. At least not on the flop. If it goes brick on the turn and river, maybe, but Queens versus nines. Gosh, I hate pocket nines. Homeboy, I think has to jam here. Oh, there's a green light. And it shows up in the background. Thank you. There was a graphical glitch at the end of the last one that put the green light in front of the card so I couldn't see them. Obviously, that was going all in. There was no question about that. Just gotta dodge a 9. And they do dodge a 9. Please Muck takes over the lead. Homeboy won. Congratulations on 5th place. Oh, I forgot about a little bit of logistics here. 169 entries. And again, like last time, there's some multiplication signs on the leaderboard because there were rebuys. Those were the amount of rebuys. $630 each. King 10 wins it. Yeah. Fifth place, $6,084. That should cover, unless he had 10 rebuys, which hopefully he did not. I did see somebody with 10 rebuys in the medium leaderboard, and he min cashed, so that wasn't even close to getting your money back. Well, technically 9 rebuys, you know. The number said 10, but, you know, 1 buy and then 9 rebuy. You get it. You get it. You're smart, I'm sure. Muggy trying to buy it with 9 high, so appalled with a pair. 4-handed. Not going to fold that. So appalled with a 7 high flush draw, which I don't think he's all that wild about. Muggy wants to keep the line going, however. Uh-oh, we got another deal. We got 2 green lights, and there is some potential here. Because notice, that is the top stack right there. I have not seen that yet. The top stack has pressed the green light. Oh, that's a good bet. That's a good bet. So appalled with a tough call here. Especially with the idea of a deal happening, becoming more and more likely. He is going to fold it, and now they might reconsider here. And there just happens to be a break. Let's go 4x. Let's do what we do. This is actually worth watching here because this could very, very easily result in a chop right here. I really can't think of a better setup for a chop because the blinds are actually pretty big right now. The leader only has 50.5 big blinds. So the variance is rather high and the stacks are very close. And people are getting big cards. This would be the most understandable spot for a deal, except for the fact that this is one of the events on ACR where the payout structure is actually pretty good. So I would still say no. And maybe that's what these two are thinking. You know, this payout structure is fine. We're willing to play for it straight up. If you guys are worried about it, too bad. You're going to have to stay worried about it. No more green lights got ticked up. So we are continuing to play for it straight up. 7-3, nope. King 6 off, maybe? No. So Paul with pocket 7s. I will praise America's Cardroom for another thing here, which is I am glad that they put a moratorium on emotes during a final table, because you can't do a deal unless you're at the final table. So I'm just glad that these two guys can't fling the poop emoji at So Appalled and Muggy. Because I was a little worried about that, because I know for a fact that doesn't matter what final table I'm at, I'm never doing a deal. I'm just glad that I can't get poop flung my way at a final table. Whoa! So Appalled with the nuts. Please muck with a pair of 6s. The nuts bets, a pair of 6s folds. So Appalled played that one straight up. I think he was just trying to act like he was just on a draw, like 2 spades. Because it's rare for somebody who flops a hand that strong to actually bet. So I see where he was going for it, but Please Muck just didn't really have anything worth sticking around with. It was hoping that Please Muck had at least a jack. Or, wait, no, a 10 or a queen. So Paul with a suited ace 10, certainly not going anywhere, might raise. From the small blind, I think general wisdom says it's better to raise. You don't want to play out of position. If you... I didn't say raise that much. That's against your fellow nil deal guy too. Played the curve with a couple fours. Muggy with ace 8 off. That's flippable, but I don't think either of these guys want to get it in yet. There's an ace. 40,000 is, I would say, the continuation bet, but that's not even a continuation bet. It was limped. Ace 8's feeling really good now. There's a straight draw as well. And there's a bet. Might the curb probably going to fold it. Yep. And I'll say this in my defense. It's a lot better, I think, to never press the green light and just say straight up, I'm never doing a deal, than it would be to, like, press the button and just reject every single offer. That would be the real bad thing to do. I'm not going to do that. Well, this is an interesting hand. Bite the curb with trips. Muggy, though, with gut shot to Broadway and, of course, the ace of hearts on there. So he's not going anywhere. I would take the free card, personally. He will, too. 5 of diamonds is a brick. Bite the curb, probably thinking about getting his value. No, he's going to try and let Muggy hang himself. He's just not doing it. And Jack's full now for Bite the Curb. Amazing hand. Gotta bet now. Your opponent's just not doing anything. And that's a good size. It just happens that Muggy doesn't have much. I like the bet size, but I don't think it's going to work. Nope. $10-9 will play. And we'll win. King 8 suited. So one thing that goes amiss here is table talk. This is why live poker is still a little bit more fun to watch, in my opinion. Like, there's nothing more boring than watching live poker when nobody talks, because, like, that's the one element, besides, like, actually physically stacking chips, like I mentioned. He showed when he was walked. That's nice. The one element of the game live, besides actually stacking chips, because I'm a sucker for big chip stacks. The dopamine in my head go crazy when I see big chip stacks. But anyway, the one thing about live poker that sets it apart is that you can actually talk to people. And you know, when I see a live poker when nobody talks, I get sad. I just get sad. It's like, why are you even playing live if you're not going to talk to people? Straight draw for please mug, ace high, and nothing really for so appalled. Gonna call, though. Ace high is best. Gotta take another brief break after this hand, but again, I can just pause the recording so you guys aren't gonna miss anything. That has to be a fold. That's a big bet. I think Please Muck is doing the right thing here. So Paul doesn't want to get rid of it, though. He thinks he's full of air. And he's correct. Thinking about it. Nope, not going to do it. I can't blame him at all. I'm impressed he even thought about it that much. Nice work there by Solo Paul, at least thinking it through. I would have just snap much. But he had the right idea. Just couldn't bring it upon himself to see it through. The blinds are up under 25.50. That's a really big all-in. Bite the curve with a tough decision here. It's a very pretty hand, but at the same time, it's queen high. And he would be behind in this spot, so that's a smart fold. Here comes a limp. Yep. When you both have 20 big blinds, the last thing you want to do is just blast off. But he's going to go ahead and bet this, and yeah, just unfortunately his opponent has absolutely none of that. So, quick win. Personally, I like to raise, but, you know, small. The more common, oh my. The more common play when it's aces in the small blind against a big blind is to limp, but and that's why people like to limp, because even a min raise sometimes just gets through and you win a tiny pot. So now they both know what it's like to have aces and get nothing out of them. Another over raise. I really don't know why, because they've been playing interesting pots together. So Paul and Bite the Curb, who again has Queen Jack in this spot. I call this. I'd call it. He's gonna raise small. Mug you with 2 5s. I would just fold this. Well, So Paul and Bite the Curb have been playing interesting hands post flop, but apparently So Paul is tired of doing that. Because they have enough chips to play post flop. Now, if you go back in time to like 07, 08, you're going to think 20 big blinds is automatically a shove stack. But nowadays, it's more like 12 big blinds is a shove stack. So I really don't know why they're just swinging for the fences there with 20 big blinds each. Well, so Paul has more, but you know what I mean. The effective stack being 20 big blinds. I'd have played that 10-9. Please Muck, though, yeah. 3-betting all in is a different story. Please Muck does have the lead, and we'll extend that lead a little bit. The other two are not going for the deal. Keep it up, soldiers. You're my kind of players. Bite the Curb has a pair. And okay, sometimes we see that kind of almost all-in raise when there's multiple tables left and they're trying to intentionally stall the ladder up the money. I don't know why you're doing that at a final table when that doesn't work. You have to put it in. Please Knock, of course, has King High. But that has him drawing dead. The King Queen just good enough to play at a four-handed table. Bite the Curb. Well done. But you have to settle for 4th place and $8,872.50. Please Muck has lost his chop mate, as it were. Wow, he went for it with the ace-7. A lot of chop outs. That's not one of them, though. And just like that, we are heads up. So Appalled versus Please Muck. Muggy for the United Kingdom. Well done. Started out as the chip leader, but things just didn't really go his way. Happens to the best of us. 3rd place, though, still pretty darn good. I mean, with my bankroll of what do I have left? $4.40. I still can't get the robots to work for me, but I don't really have to now because I did so well in a free roll. And oh, Please Muck with a poorly timed re-raise here. So Paul is not folding a suited ace heads up. He's not folding a suited. No, yeah. I haven't played much. I saw this OSS, and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta do a lot of commentary. I got a few real life things to sort out. Well, not a lot, but as soon as I sort them out, then I should be good to go for actually playing a little bit. I plan on recording myself for a couple of the games. I'm gonna do an early morning 55 cent game with 8-minute blinds. I'm not gonna record that one, but I will record a $1.10 buy-in with 12-minute blinds and a $1.65 buy-in with 15-minute blinds. So Barrack Queens wins that hand. Sorry, sorry about that. But if anybody was wondering if I was planning on recording myself playing, yes, I do. And if I happen to cash in any of those three for $2.50 or more, I will parlay that into the dream. $2.50 buy-in, $100,000 prize pool. Do I have any earthly chance of taking it down? No. But I might as well try if I happen to cash in these smaller ones. Very close heads up here. For So Appalled to not take the deal at this point, I think he's on the same wavelength as I am. Just does not enjoy the idea of doing a deal at all. So, tough luck, buddy. You're going to have to beat me. Two jacks will help with that, though. So Appalled, though, probably won't even play this hand. It is heads up. Three jacks versus 7 high. Nope, not even calling him in bet. Sorry, dude. Show the hand. Aw. Two raggedy hands. 10-5, of course, being very raggedy. They each have plenty of play left. There's another jack for Please Muck. I have seen the payout structure for the Dream, by the way, and it's ugly. It's what I've been complaining about this whole time. ACR does a good job with tournaments around this size, though. But it just poops the bed when it comes to giant tournaments. It just doesn't know how to reward people for making a deep run. It really doesn't. But for this kind of tournament, it does a really good job. Because you basically have to get deep by default just to get any money at all. So I think it does a good job here. Raise from Please Muck with 9-7 offsuit. So Paul with King 10 offsuit. I'm just glad that I don't have to say what one person's hand is because the green light's on top of the cards. Please Muck obviously with the best hand here, so Paul can just get rid of it. Always nice to have easy folds. You prefer easy calls, but, you know, easy folds are still stress-free. Yeah, so Paul is definitely on my wavelength. Can't help but root for him, not wanting to chop. Well, this is an easy fold. Ace-9 of diamonds, that's really nice. So Paul with 3-4, which is playable. At least heads up, it certainly is. Getting a little bit of sound effect delay, but oh well. Big raise. I never understand why they make such big raises when they're limped to. That's 4.5x. That just seems like an awful lot to put in, especially with that kind of hand. Oh. Check. That fold. Nope. He's going to check the middle pair. I feel like a good default would be if you have a pair and heads up, just bet it, because chances are your opponent doesn't have it. If he does, then he'll stick around and you know, okay, well, now I can play a little bit more cautiously. But there's a good chance he'll just bet and take it down, and that's that. Maybe Please Muck was a little worried about spades getting there, and that river card's a total brick, so he's going to bet now and hope his opponent has ace high or a smaller 7. Well, if he has a smaller 7, then the pot's going to be chopped because it's 7-7-2-2 king. But yeah, queen high. Queen high is not going to work, so that's the end of that. King 10 versus 4-3 again. Raise. That's a nice raise size. I could see him playing with 4-3, but he likes not to. Queen 2 versus 8-3. I mean, I complained about the lack of hands at that other table, but we've made up for it here. This is just standard fare for heads up. You're going to see raggy hands a lot. Pair of queens, about as good as you could have hoped for. And that should end it. Back 4 off. Ugly, but it is heads up. So just having the jack makes it somewhat desirable. Ace 8 off. Could see a raise, but he's going to go and check it. Snowballed with the pair of 4s. It's good. Can't imagine he would be that convinced of it, but he's going to do what I say, which is default to betting. And I like the call there with the ace high. Not anymore, but, you know, ace high might have been good, theoretically. But trip 4s and Please Muck is drawing dead. So appalled. Could slow play. There's not much to be scared of there. He's going to go for almost full pot. Please Muck does not have a 5, does not have a queen. That's what So Paul was hoping for, but this should be an easy fold. It's kind of amazing if you have bottom pair, like you're hoping your opponent has just ace high on the flop, and then boom, turn card hits you. Like, oh boy, I hope, wow, making a misstep here. Oh boy, I hope that he's got a 5. I hope that he's got a queen. I hope that I was behind earlier. Well, so appalled should be encouraged by that call and the fact that the river card's a 2. It is a 2 of diamonds. But I don't think he's going to be that scared of it. And from his perspective, I got to believe that he thinks his hand has to be good here. Maybe 390. He's going to go over the pot. And from Please Muck's perspective, that looks like a bluff, doesn't it? The turn bet looked like a bluff, and this looks like an even bigger bluff. But he does go ahead and fold it. He just can't take the pressure. And it's a good thing he can't, because that would have hurt real bad. Ten-9 versus King 8. Oh, a couple playable hands post flop or for heads up. Raise, call, I imagine. Re-raise. King head off. I don't know about that. He definitely does not want to call. Well, he doesn't get it. Maybe if it were suited, he'd call that, but yeah, I think I agree with the fold when it's offsuit. So Paul would have loved to play this one, I'm sure. He shows it, yep. 6-10. 9-7. This should be a call. Pair of tens for So Appalled. Please muck with hardly anything. Check, bet, maybe fold, maybe he'll float. This actually is kind of floatable. They're gonna raise. A value raise, even. It's a value raise bluff, of course, but we haven't seen too much of that, so Paul, I'm sure, is worried, but he's not going to be able to fold. Oh, look at that card. Please Muck can now win with any heart. He can win with a 6, and he can win with a jack. And he is... Or he can win by bluffing him out. And he's got all the outs now. So Appalled has to hate that card. He's going to keep going, though, and he would be correct. The 5 doesn't work for Please Muck. Does he think he can bet So Appalled off? So Appalled... Oh, it's all in! So Appalled has top pair, but he has no kicker. Can he see this through? If he does, he has won the game. It'll take a heck of a soul read to do this. Please Muck with that check raise on the flop acts so strong. Like he at least had 2 big hearts, and he does fold the best hand. And he shows the bluff. Again, you can't fling poop at him at a final table. Just gotta say, good bluff, dude. You never expect the guy wanting a deal to be capable of a bluff like that, too. So Appalled with the suited ace, very much raising hand. Oh, wow. 9, queen, queen. Please Muck is loving life right now. Pulled off a heck of a bluff. Now he's got trip queens as a reward for succeeding. Quarter pot bet by So Appalled. Please Muck can just call. He is just going to call. That card's kind of in Please Muck's wheelhouse. Of course, he's got a gut shot now. I don't think he really wanted or needed it, because the queen should be plenty, theoretically. And indeed, So Appalled is drawing dead here. There's a check there, so will Please Muck take that as a green light? He sure will. Doesn't bet much, though. So Appalled with ace high. And the fact that Please Muck just showed that bluff might convince So Appalled to keep playing here with ace high. No, he's going to fold it. He guessed correctly this time. He doesn't show the good hand. He showed the bad hand. He does not show the good hand there. So he's going to keep So Appalled guessing. King 6 suited is very strong for heads-up standards. Please Muck, of course, has a much stronger hand. Ace-10 is fairly strong, even 6-handed, let alone 2-handed. He's going to ask So Appalled the big question. That's a bit much for a 3-bet all-in, I think, but I guess he just wants to pick up the pot, and he does it. Not much here. Queen 10's nice, 9-2 is not. Jack 4 is not nice. Jack 4 is not nice. Oh boy, what a flop. Who wants it more? I don't even think I have to say anything. It's just who wants it more. That's all there is to it. All right. Fair enough. 10-7 will limp. Ace 4 might raise. No. 7 plays for Please Muck. How about another 7? You'd be a full house. And So Appalled has a fairly playable hand, actually, with the ace high. The fact that the other pair is a pair of 2s, though, might save him, because any pocket pair is ahead now. 7's full of 10s. Okay, guys, calm down. Again, I can easily see So Appalled check calling here, because ace high on a 2-pair board is usually semi-playable. Small bet, too. I would probably look him up, keep him honest. Things are looking real good for Please Muck. Well, ace 2 against king 4 suited. Sign effect delay. There's an ace for So Appalled. Not a big pot, though. Let's check, or bet call. Check bet call, yeah. Check bet fold now. So Appalled really with not much reason to check here. He can be pretty confident that the ace is good, and he's just hoping that he's up against a jack. All right, Jack 10 versus Ace King. This is a big one. And we're just going to go for it straight up. Bad move. He's got it straight. He flops a straight with the Jack 10, the Ace King drawing dead. Wow. I guess that shows that I know. But yeah, that's an all-in for what, 32 big blinds? How many chips did So Appalled have? Had like 1.9 million, didn't he? He had a lot of chips to just open shove like that. But it obviously works out for Please Muck from Canada. That last hand was shundresting. My gaming Discord friends would know what that means. But it played out at least entertainingly. It went really, really quick. And sure enough, nobody did a deal. Homeboy went in for 4 bullets, so he didn't get paid off too well. So Appalled went in for 4 bullets. Please Muck for 3 bullets, but their payout was really, really big, so I think they're fine either way. But that's going to do it for the high version. What did I schedule next for commentary? OSS 94 was what I have next on my personal list of things to look at. And that is a 5-card Omaha game. So that should be fun. All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. And I'll see you 2 days from now. Something like that. Something like that. I'll be pumping out content like this, but all right. Take care, everyone.